Hello, welcome to the Roy Rogers News Channel. Thank you for watching on this dreamy segment today. Anyways, let's go ahead and look at it is not Staryu, it's Starmie. The reason why I said it's a dreamy segment is because of the host, Bilbert. I had a dream, actually. I mentioned this in my headline segment before, but Bilbert, this guy, I knew my dream said that he was going to be hired, and then the second portion, which I didn't really say in my headline segment, but the second portion of that dream was that he would make some of the most hilarious tournaments. And I was not too far off. Actually, not me. My dream was not too far off. I can't control what I dream. So I wish I could, but I can't. Anyways, yeah, I guess that dream just so happened to hit the lottery here. Anyways, it's not a Staryu, it's a Starmie. Blue Breath vs Snicks Z and Frags vs Mulkin. Alright, we're going to be right back. Please stay tuned to the Roy Rogers News Channel for further tournament commentary. Alright, we are back. Wow, just off the break. I mean, I didn't even get much of a break here, to be honest with you. Frags and Mulkin just started right away. I mean, that's, wow. Talk about a duck going in water. Because, man, that was just so fast. Anyways, yeah, so, alright. Now something tells me that there were probably some spikes on the first turn. And yeah, there were some spikes, and let me look at this really quick. Alright, so I started off on the first turn. That's odd. Let's just continue the match. Alright, Agent Smith. Alright. I don't think Frags is gonna let I don't think Frags is gonna let Slowbro set up. I was right. I was right. Frags is not gonna let Slowbro set up. There is no way, knowing Frags and his playstyle, he is not going to let that Slowbro set up. Not at all. In fact, if anything, it's going to cancel out the leftovers recovery. Now, my estimation is that Frags wants Slowbro to switch out. Do I think it's going to happen? Well, I don't even have to speculate. It happened. Alright. So Porygon 2 is going to switch into Metagross. Alright. Leech Seed. Alright. What an intense match. So Venusaur switched into Miltank. I haven't seen Miltank in OU for quite a while. Ooh, nice. I don't think Miltank really appreciates the item that's holding, because Miltank is not known to be really fast. But it did do Fire Punch, so that's decent. Alright. And Miltank was fortunate to pull off a burn. Alright, so Starmie's going to come in. And Frags is already starting to open up his party a little bit. But I'm assuming that the Frags knows exactly what he's doing. Alright, due to the spike damage that Frags put up, Fortress fainted. So that's the first feint on Malkin's side. Ooh, I don't know who's gonna come out though. Ursaring? Okay, I guess. The problem with Ursaring is that Ursaring is not really the speediest Pokemon in the world. I mean, Ursaring is kind of nice, but you know. So sometimes you really want a Pokemon that can just be a speedy threat rather than a slow hitter, especially with Frags' team. I mean, Frags has some pretty fast Pokemon. He has Haunter, Starmie, Metagross was holding Swift Choice Band. I mean, and I don't know what the 6th Pokemon is, but I presume that it's probably something that's also kind of fast as well. But Frags has a pretty speedy team, and I think one of the worst things for Malkin to pull in is some slow Pokemon, because slow Pokemon, they can't really do that much. And Frags, he can knock out something really fast. And alright, so Magneton is gonna come in. Shadow Ball. So Malkin, I think, is basically stalling here. So he's trying to stall out the Haunter. I can kind of see what he's doing, and Frags saw it as well. For Frags is very good at seeing stuff. If you watch some of the matches that the Frags was in, he's very good at looking at a match and really sniffing out the player to see how the player reacts to certain things. How can I and I guess there's a couple of some very inspirational advice you can learn from Frags' playstyles, and I think you can apply it to real life. You want to approach a situation and don't say, well, alright, so I'm just going to do this set in stone and all this stuff. The question is, how do I phrase this? How do you approach, how can I approach this in a very in a very oh yeah, and I'm sorry, this is kind of complicated to explain here, but oh yeah, how can I approach this situation and really get the most out of it? And that's the question that Frags asks when he goes into these matches. So he comes across with this question off the bat. Usually he comes with this question off the bat, and he asks, how can I be able to read my opponent and work his biases against him or her? Because I've seen some competitive ladies in the tournaments as well. Very, very few, but they are out there. But yeah, I mean, I don't mean to go off topic here, but no. For Node with Staff, she was competitive. She did primarily NU. She did NU, and she was the person that really got me into competitive play. So yeah. Anyways, back on the topic of Frags and how he looks at a match. It's his question is really how can I actually, it would be kind of misleading for me to say it's just one question. It's two questions. One, what are my opponent's biases? And two, how can I work his biases against him? Those are the two questions that Frags usually asks himself. How can I work the opponent's biases against him? And a lot of people ask that, but Frags usually comes in the match asking those two questions. And he can, I don't know how to say, but he could really sniff you out. He's really good at sniffing a lot of people out and working their biases against them. And usually it's I think there's kind of a high success rate, but you really have to pay attention to the play styles of your opponent, or you really have to progress in the match for quite some time in order to get a general feel for how your opponent operates. I wish I could do this, but I don't think this would. I don't think this would really sell very well, and I don't think staff would appreciate me doing this. But I can probably write a book as to the amount of mind games that Frags uses in a certain competitive match. Over the years of analyzing Frags, you can really appreciate the kind of mentality that Frags has. And some players have that. Some players try to incorporate that, but Frags, it's kind of like a. It goes very smoothly. It just I really admire Frags as a competitive player. I mean, look at him. He's right now. He's just kind of, he's sniffing out the opponent's biases, and he's working against those biases. And you can do this in real life too. I mean, but yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not going to be writing a book about it. I'm not going to be writing a book because, one, I want to be on the staff's good side. I don't want the staff to, like, oh man, Roy's just trying to capitalize on his experience on Poke-MO. I don't want people in the staff lounge to have that mentality. And two, it's because I want to keep my real life and my in-game life kind of separate. I don't want to profit. Even YouTube, I'm volunteering. And the only reason why I'm accepting ads is because, well, YouTube kind of had a bit of an advantage with ads. They said, well, if you accept ads, then that means you get to put annotations in your videos and stuff. So I was like, all right. But other than that, those are the things. And yeah, I keep my real life and Poke-MO separate, and I don't like when those kind of leak with each other. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah. I don't know, it's all I got to say is that, Frags has a really interesting way of really going about a match, and even some competitive people that I met, they even said that they they kind of enjoy watching Frags' kind of battle, because it's almost like an opera almost. It's really just, it's beautiful to watch. Now Frags is not perfect. There are some matches that he lost, but overall he's been on Pokemon for quite some time, and he really does have a lot of good questions he can come at whenever he battles. And you can also learn that as a competitive player too. You can learn from Frags the very interesting world of competitive battling and a bit of some psychology. All you gotta do is just know about competitive Pokemon, know what the tools are, build your team, but also, you know just a general idea of psychology and how people work, and you should be able to win. I can probably tell you right now that Frags probably understands a lot more about psychology than you all may be thinking. Anyways, well, back to the match, but I think this had a lot to do with the match, though. I think that this particular topic that I'm discussing has a lot to do with how this match is working, and yeah. So I can probably tell you what Frags is going to do here, because he's asking two questions. What are the opponent's biases, and how can I make his biases work against him? This is a good tactic. What he's trying to do is he's trying to subtly give a bit of a psychological message to Mulkin, saying that, hey, your surfs are completely worthless. I'm just going to recover them straight off the bat, and there's no other option for you. You have to switch. There's no other option for you. That's the subtle psychology that I'm noticing that Frags is doing right now, at this exact turn. And he knows that Mulkin wants to keep that Calm Mind boost. So he's like I said, he's working his Mulkin's biases against him right now as we're speaking. But all right. There's the Fire Punch. And, alright. So, as of right now, Frag's kind of sacked Fortress. I can tell you the basic psychology of that. The basic psychology is that, hey, you want to do Fire Punch, right? Alright, I'm going to go ahead and lure you in like what I'm doing with, like fishing, You don't just tug a line and just say, I'm just gonna get you. What he does is he's like, all right, I'm gonna give you a little taste of you winning. This is an illusion. This is another Frags tactic that's just absolutely brilliant. This is an illusion. He says, all right. He puts in a Pokemon that literally dies from a move. Ursaring, for example. He knows that Ursaring might do Fire Punch, knowing that Fortress. He could have just switched into Slowbro, because we saw in in Frags' match. He could have switched to slow burn, and that's what most competitive people would have done. They would have let Fortress live. But Frags is really good at his trade. So what he does is he says, I'm going to lure you in like a fisherman. I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to fight you. I'm just going to gradually lure you in. I'm going to, kind of pull the line gradually. And then the moment that you feint the fortress or feint my fortress, I'm giving you the illusion that you're winning. Then I pull in a Pokemon that completely turns around that mentality. A Pokemon that's much faster than you, kills you, brings in Venusaur, kills that, and he wins. That's, like I said, this is just brilliant. Frags, I don't know, it's really good at his trade. All right, and there's a lot of other people that are pretty good at competitive battling, but Frags, I mean, he is just really good at competitive battling and really good at psychology as well. You have to be really good at those two. So, yeah, all right. So, Blue Breath vs Snackers. We're gonna wait for that match to conclude, and then after that, then one of those opponents are going to be facing Frags. So, all right. We're going to be right back. Please stay tuned to the Roy Rogers News channel for further tournament commentary. Alright, we are back. Blue Breath vs Frags. Alright. This dreamy tournament. I mentioned that in my intro. That I dreamed about two things about Bill Bird is that he's good about him being hired and in fact he would make some very hilarious tournament names. So, alright, great. And I also mentioned a little bit about Frags in the previous match, but if you're curious about the psychological tactics that the Frags uses in the two questions that he asks, then you might want to tune in back there. But just a brief little taste of that, I'm going to just give you the two questions here. What are the opponent's biases, and how can I use them against the opponent? But Blue Breath is no pushover either. Blue Breath is also very good at his trade as well. And I usually see Blue Breath, he likes to surprise his opponents. That's what I notice. He likes to, it's kind of like I call him like a jack-in-a-box player. He comes in with something you just don't expect. And Frags, I guess he probably knows a little bit about how Blue Breath plays his matches. All right, great. We got a brand new screen there. Great. Wonderful. I love the new screen. Guy in the editing room, please change the music. This is great. Although I do think that another Thunder Punch is going to be fresher. Oh, well. All right. Never mind. Don't change the music. It's and you can change it for a little bit, but. Alright, so what is Frag? Frags might, I don't know if he's gonna knock off or is he gonna switch. Alright. Oh, so alright, never mind, guy in the editing room, keep the music on. Blue Breath switched. He said, Blue Breath is a very jack-in-a-box player. A lot of people would have expected Rain Dance, but this is a DD Kingdra. And there's no Whirlwinders. I mean, no Whirlwinders on Frags' side. This is going to be very tricky for Frags to do. He's going to have to... Alright, yeah, I think he can pull off a Whirlwind here. I really think he can pull off a Whirlwind. Frag saw it coming right away. And Blue Breath is like, hey, I'm just going to get a... Whoa, that counter is pretty epic. Alright. Wow. Now, Blue Breath is assuming Whirlwind. Alright. Whirlwind or Drill Peck. Both Kingdra and Slowbro are out on the early stages of this match. Man. Alright. So, Frags is trying to figure out, is Metagross Choice Band? But Blue Breath is, you know, he's no pushover. He's very, very good at his trade as well. But his specialty is more of like a jack-in-a-box type guy. He catches you off guard. He's really good at catching you off guard a lot. He has some very tricky sets, if I can say that. Very tricky sets, or it's a better word for them. Gimmicky. Well, not even gimmicky, but just like in between tricky and gimmicky. Just a little bit there. And sometimes he even tries to, like this, for example. Heracross. You wouldn't expect Heracross to do a sword stance. You would expect Hera to be choice banded or flail set. You wouldn't expect Heracross to do sword stance right there. But both Frags and Blue Breath are very, very good. So it's going to be pretty. It's going to be pretty intense. See how this is going to turn out. All right. So the return. I have not seen return on Heracross, which proves my point that Blue Breath is one of those jack-in-a-box players. You know, there are very few players that are kind of like jack-in-a-box type people, and Blue Breath I would describe as kind of like a jack-in-a-box. You come in there with something you just don't expect. Frags is really good at competitive psychology. Very good at competitive. Really trying to read his opponent's weaknesses. Now I can probably tell you that Frags, I think, still doesn't understand how Blue Breath has his team set up, because Blue Breath, he's whenever you're a jack-in-a-box player, it's very hard to kind of understand how they play. So Blue Breath could switch. Blue Breath can let you sack the Hera. It's just the probability is very, very random, and you don't know what the three Pokemon are, so you don't know if Blue Breath even has a counter to Blaziken. There he goes, another surprise. Blue Breath is he's trying to I can tell he's probably trying to sack his Skarm so that he can pull in another thing that could probably hit this Blaziken really, really hard. There we go. There we go. I knew there was something that was going to hit that Blaziken really hard. Aerodactyl's going to hit that Blaziken so hard. Yeah, Frags he had to switch. Aerodactyl. Oh, Aerodactyl even. Wow. I mean, Blue Breath just completely predicted the Skymie to come in. Blue Breath is like a jack-in-a-box player. He's really like a, really good jack-in-a-box type guy. He can catch a lot of people off guard. A lot of people, which is why he's in the finals, because he caught so many people off guard to the point where he got to the finals. So look at that, another jack-in-a-box. Look at that. you didn't know that Blue Breath had Flygon, and you know Frags is probably is trying to figure out how can I hit Blue Breath where it hurts, and but Blue Breath is very smart. He exposes his team later in the match when 3 of Frags' Pokemon faint. 3 of his Pokemon. So that means that Frags has very little opportunities to really put in a lot of advantages against Blue Breath. Blue Breath could predict a switch and do Dragon Claw. Alright, Hidden Power Ice. There we go. So now we know what Hidden Power it has, which means that Aerodactyl's probably going to come right back and do an Earthquake. Since there are no flyers left. Well, maybe there might be some flyers or some sort of Pokemon with Levitate here, but... Alright, Hair is just a little risky, but like I said, Blue Breath is a jack-in-a-box player, so, and maybe he has a surprise on that Heracross that I don't know about. Blaze Connect's going to come in, and Aerodactyl's going to be coming in. So Blue Breath is trying to sniff out Frags here, because Jack-in-the-Box players are really good at sniffing. Really, really good at sniffing. Alright. Heracross is going to love this. The moment that Umbreon comes in, Frags is... well, yeah, I guess Frags is not going to really like it so much, but Heracross is going to love that Umbreon. Blue Breath is probably going to set up a Sword Stance here. Probably. Very, very likely. Or go into Aerodactyl and scare away that Umbreon. Like I said, Blue Breath catches me off guard when I commentate a lot. But Blue Breath is just that type of player. He's very, very good at catching people off guard. Aerodactyl's probably going to do an Earthquake here, and then Aerodactyl's probably going to switch into Hera. Aerodactyl's probably going to switch into Hera the moment that Frag switches into Umbreon. This would be a very risky match, particularly for Frags. Whoa, that double edge hit like a truck. Whoa. Oh, right. By golly. Now, I don't know if Jolt's faster. Who is faster? Jolt is faster. That saved Frags. I mean, it's kind of too early to say, but I think Frags is going to pull it in. I think Frags is going to pull it off. It's going to be very, very... how should I put it? Very, very close, but I think that Frags could pull it off. He could. He's gonna have to be really, really careful, and he can't let Heracross set up a Sword Stance. He cannot let that happen. If he does, then that Umbreon is going to be doomed. It's going to be over for Umbreon. I think Blue Breath right now is trying to punch in the Calcs to see if he could survive possible Thunderbolt. I don't know if... Maybe, alright, so he's punching in the Calcs, and he does find out that, yes, he can indeed survive a Sword Stance. Which means, Umbreon, watch out. Blue Breath is coming for you. Alright. But my prediction is that Frags is going to barely pull it off. Jolteon's not going to survive that. Yeah. Umbreon I'm better have something that can hit decently hard. Oh! Oh! Alright. Blue Breath again is like the Jack-in-a-Box. He just, boom! Look, he caught me off guard, and he caught Frags off guard, too. Caught both of us off guard. Man! Like, Blue Breath and Frags are pretty good players, and they really do. Spectating them is really you're just asking for a good time, especially when you put both of them together. I mean, wow, that is like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich you got there. I mean, that is, those two people are so interesting to spectate. It's just, it's very, very good content. But man, what an awesome tournament video! I really enjoy this tournament video. I love tournament video. I mean, so much action, so much psychology, so much competitive stuff. I mean, it's all of it, all in one bundle, one video. And I'm very I don't want to end it, but I'm gonna. Well, I guess this is gonna be the end of a good time here. Because I'm going to have to end this tournament video, otherwise you all are going to get bored here. But anyways, yes, this is the Roy Rogers News channel. Don't forget to comment or subscribe to my channel, like or dislike the content that you see here. And this is the Roy Rogers News channel signing off. Fast, accurate, unbiased, Roy Rogers News.